Santosh, are you ready? Santosh? Please enable your mic.
The mic is enabled.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Seems like just lost connection to YouTube, but we are on the system.
So shall I start now?
Yes, just a second.
Okay.
I think we reconnected to YouTube now. So it's back. We just lost connection to YouTube for a few minutes, but we are back now. So now we start the session, and it will be presented by Santosh. Santosh Mahiban, Customer Success Manager at ManageEngine. So Santosh, please start.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction, Rania. Hi, everyone. Good day. I hope you're all doing great and you're all staying active. So this is a nice opportunity for me, and this is my first time experience to do a virtual conference with the users in UA region and in Egypt. So my name is Santosh Maivan. I'm a customer success manager at ManageEngine Service Desk Plus. And today I'm here to talk about the enterprise service management. And along with that, we're going to see how we could do a strategic approach for enterprise automation. So I hope you all are having access to different departments and you are working with multiple teams within your organization. So the basic challenge is that automating a process is quite easy when it is between just a department. So within IT, you could like discuss, work, and plan an automation. But the collaborative challenge happens when IT has to work with the real enterprise, or the enterprise has to go cooperate and work with all the users. That is exactly where the real challenge of automation happens. So what are the key challenges today? Now, when we take an enterprise as a whole, not just as the individual department, but when we take the enterprise as a whole structure, what happens is that there is always a dependency challenges, or there is always a cutback on the communication between other departments because of the culture that is established between each and every department. Now, if we look into the operations of IT, they work through email, mobile app, like phone calls, chat. There's so many tools. But when you look into the operation of the HR, it could only be through email. When it comes to the facilities department, it's just going to be a random phone call or a quick chat. So the culture that each of these departments follows is quite different, and it causes a huge bottleneck. Now that leads to the other adaptation challenge, which is resistance towards the technology, because
Santosh, we lost you. Your voice. We can't hear you now. Please try to connect.
am I audible, Rania?
Yes, you are back now.
So when did you lose me? Like right now or like earlier?
Yes, please restart at this slide.
Which one?
This current slide, key challenges.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So sorry about that. So what I was
It's
saying
fine.
is that the key challenges that the enterprise faces when it comes to the automation is that the microcultures that's established between different departments, then there is always a resistance towards the technology, because when it comes to IT, they keep growing vertically upwards as an exponential curve, going all the way skyrocketing high, because they have to keep track with the technology trends, stay up to date with the security updates, make sure their organization's entire infrastructure is like well adapted. But now when it comes to the other departments where they are convenient working in certain mechanism where they don't check how secure their operations are or how they meet their business demands. So there are these challenges when it comes to your enterprise automation. Then there is lack of absence of technical expertise also causes a more advanced challenge, because you need to keep yourself updated. You need to make sure the solutions, the processes, the collaborative operations that you do for the enterprise stays on top of all the business demands, because IT, as we always say, they have to keep themselves updated. So this is one other challenge that we always see from the enterprise users. Then apps with different vendors that don't like to work with each other. Now, this is the challenge that we are trying to put away today. Like we have Microsoft solutions, Google suite of products. Now that has to work with the help to solution. It cannot be an on-premises solution, cannot collaborate with a cloud-based operating system. So that is something that would be like 10 years back. But right now, it just have to all weave together and work with ease of access. Then there should be a provision which allows low-code, easy to plug in kind of a platform, which would ease the automation as well. And they would also be part of the workflow process that the enterprise users would have to lay down. And finally, there is always a challenge with the accuracy of data that you get, because the analytics is really important. And when you try to do an analytical manipulation or do calculative analysis on what was the trend or what is that man hours that the technicians have worked, there is always these challenges where the data does not scale up. So these are all the major challenges that the enterprise always faces. And we are going to see the 6 ways how to spearhead enterprise service management through enterprise service automation. All right, so the first one is going to be your enterprise self-service portal that would be laid out for the organization. Now, what we do is that we have a platform where you could literally like build and bridge your enterprise service departments right in one page. So this way you offer a clear understanding to your users where they should reach for what type of an assistance. And the enterprise service portal should also bring all your other services like your self-service or your chatbots, your SAP applications, or your integrations with third-party applications. It should all come together, and that is something that we offer as a enterprise self-service portal. So this way the users of the organization can just stay right under one roof, and they could like work with any department, any user, or even if they wanted to like reference any knowledge based articles, or if they wanted to like cross verify any information, the enterprise self-service portal should cater to the user's needs. The next is about building in conversational intelligence in your solution. This way, you are leveraging the latest technology for your business. Now, AI is one of the key discussion that every organization is trying to adapt. As you could see, there's chatbots, there is voice over commands, there is a predictive analysis through machine learning when through chatbots that users could communicate. There are a lot of these operations, and this has to be adapted to your enterprise. So for which we support Zia. Zia is our artificial intelligence that is being built by Zoho Corporation, which and ManageEngine is a division of Zoho Corporation. So Zia works exactly like your Apple support or for your Amazon support. It gives you articles, it gives you information, it gives you very collaborative information back and forth. And after a point, you still wanted to register a ticket or you wanted to talk to a human, you could do that. And Zia helps us to bridge the enterprise users together. And not just that, with Zia, before you reach a human, it helps you to get as much as information possible so that it makes the users work a lot more easier. They get a lot of options right there. And this is exactly how enterprise solutions should adapt to the technology standards, just to make sure they help the users' need. They serve the users across the enterprise and not fixated towards one specific department. Now, the third option is about building visual workflows, and not just that, you are building it with no code logic, and even if there's a code involved, it's super lightweight. This is exactly how your uh, enterprise workflow should be. So what you're looking at is a workflow that is something that you could define as a process for your HR operations. So if you have a user onboarding process, or if you have a new recruitment process, or if there are like a lot of items that you have to check off the list when someone is going to leave the organization or do a department change, or when they are promoted, it's not just the HR's responsibility, but it goes in tags between the security team, the IT asset management team, the facilities management team, and not just that, it also deals with the business decision makers. So you need to have a flow that tags all these people. They all need to get themselves updated. Now, that is doable when you have an enterprise solution where you could build visual workflows with no code, and it's absolutely easy, which you could weave around through the visual workflow builder. It's just like your building blocks. You just drag and drop these elements into a canvas, and you bring in the visual workflow. So this is the third option that you need to have in place to build an enterprise grade automation for your business. Then we have the last mile low code customizations that can work beyond IT, using our custom functions, using our integrations that we support. Now, with Service Discuss, you need to know we have a lot of these integrations, which is just like plug in, enable, like just do the easy configuration. So it's just like out of the box integrations that we offer. We offer integrations with Microsoft suite of products, Google suite of products. Then again, we have options to make your Microsoft Teams work with the Service Desk Plus. Then you can integrate Service Desk Plus on your Outlook calendar, making ticket management or making your day-to-day activities a lot more easier. So again, we have a platform where you could either make use of these out-of-box features and work on them seamlessly, or we also extend to the last mile for all other third-party solutions where you could where you can't find it as a plugin because it's just a new product, or if it's a new solution, or if it's something that supports APIs or programming knowledge, you could like integrate them right within Service Discuss, and you could start using them. So these are like kind of low code customizations that we still offer, because out of the box, after the out of the box features, we also support these kind of automations to make the work a lot more easier for the enterprise. Then we have the fifth option, which is integrated approach. Now, what we do is, as I said before, we integrate Service Desk Plus with with couple of management solutions, which helps you to manage your Active Directory operations, or your desktop management operations, or your mobile device operations. So we have a platform where the dependent management solutions can be easily integrated with each other. And not just that, extending to the third-party solutions, we integrate with Jira, Slack, we integrate with Zoho Click. There's so many other solutions that we integrate, which is basically provide a space so that you work either from your help desk solution, which is basically Service Desk, or if you're working with Microsoft solutions like Teams, where you work with meetings, you have to like work with approvals, you have to work with like a help desk solution as well. Well, you could use Teams in that place, where Teams integrates tightly with Service Desk Plus, so you could get your ticketing operations as well, and also you could do approvals, you could like work on tickets, you could also have your Teams sessions or your Teams calls for your business. You could just work right out of Teams, or even from Outlook. If you're someone who deals with tons of emails coming in from the HR department, well, that's not a big challenge, because the solutions that we have integrate so tightly with the other products as well, where you could do your decisions, or you could like forward emails, or like just convert all those emails to tickets right from any solution that you work. So this is one solid way where the integration extends out of the help the solution, giving leverage to the users of the enterprise to decide how they want it to work. So end of the day, no matter the type of process or the type of a culture that you have within the team, you can always behind your application that you're comfortable with, along with enterprise solution which has the platform to integrate and collaborate. Finally, the importance of identifying the bottlenecks of the organization and trying to dismantle all those complex challenges and make sure you frame a seamless process within the organization using the advanced analytics. Now, this is something that we have learned from our user challenge, where users always find it so challenging to manage their IT data, the HR data. So this basically takes back to the days where the users that you have in the organization is not the same as the users that the HR manages, because disparate systems with two disparate challenges, leaving the IT and the HR in a limbo, trying to figure out who is the user who joined in, or who's the user who left the organization. Have we got all the assets? Did we get a sign off on the security form? Did we like cut off all the accesses to the system? So this is all a challenge that enterprises face. And what we did is we plugged in with analytics solution, which is so flexible that it takes data from a spreadsheet, from a help desk solution, from your HRMS solution, builds dashboards, gives you real-time analytics. It gives you a prediction analysis on saying, with the amount of onboarding tickets that you receive and with the amount of technicians that's working right now, the, it could forecast the delay, how long it would take to complete those tickets, or how long will it take for the IT to complete all those tickets. So that is something stepping up the game. Your enterprise solution should help you not only to like just receive and work on data, but it should also should help you to dismantle the challenges, dismantle the bottlenecks, give you a predictive forecast. The analytics solution that we offer also works with Zia, where you could just talk to it and get your reports done. And also, the analytics solution that integrates with the helpless solution can also integrate with a lot of other applications out there. So what it basically does is it constructs a lot of templates, a lot of dashboards, a lot of reports out of it automatically. And you know what? You can build or bring all this data together, making it a lot easier for the decision makers or the stakeholders to analyze, evaluate, and narrow down to a resolution. So, with all these six enterprise service challenges that we've discussed, we have also discussed the key elements that brings all these challenges together and ease out a simple and easy enterprise service automation for every business. So with this, I wrap up my presentation and I'm ready to take any questions you have right now.
Well, okay. Thank you, Santosh, for your time for the presentation.
Thank you, Rania.
And please, any of the attendants, if you have any questions, please send the chat either on YouTube or in the web meeting system. Um, Meanwhile, Santosh, please tell me your experience in the region, the Middle East region. I know you have many clients, especially in the Gulf.
Mhm.
So tell us what are the most success stories you have in the region, for example.
So when we started working with a lot of customers in the Middle East region, which has customers from different backgrounds, like from government sectors, educational sectors, they always have a need to isolate the data of their organization. So they always go for the on premises products. and they have multiple installations, one for their IT operations, the HR operations, the payroll separately, which is completely different from HR, and also they do their finance and the procurement all at separate installations. And so long they have been okay handling those separate instances, maintaining their installations. But with the release of the enterprise service management, they have geared up their business, saving dollars. They have literally saved hundreds and thousands of dollars by moving from all individual instances towards ESM, so that they don't need to maintain their application and the database servers, but it's all under one roof. It's secure. You can like do reporting out of for each and every department. You can collaborate and get a finalized data. So this is one solid improvement that we have seen in this region when it comes to the financial sectors of government and also from the educational sector. So this is something that we have personally seen. And also with the AI trending that is being improvised, we have airline industries who are extending their AI capabilities into our enterprise service management because they want their IT and the users to have a seamless workplace where they are introducing the AI as a third person, so that the time that takes for a user to reach the technician is saved, and also the user gets a lot of information proactively out of the system, saving a lot of time for the technicians. So we have seen airline industries ease their SLAs, and they are like trajecting out of their normal performance, and they're going above and beyond their customer success satisfaction. So these are like kind of real-time experiences that I've faced with users, and this is kind of like improvising as and when we are speaking. So I can literally see the business is gearing up towards the technology adaptation as well as towards the enterprise markets nowadays.
Okay, very nice. So you have already tackled several industries in the region. And as you said, you have several installations for several departments. But if you talk about enterprise service management, what about integration between these standalone installations?
So, first thing is that with the enterprise service management, we are cutting down on separate installations. So we are all bringing them into one roof, but again with some different segmentations. Then we plug in the analytics part, where even though they are like disparate set of systems, you could like take the data out into one place, control who has access to it, and make sure the decisions that is done with all the data. So you have the HR related onboarding and offboarding data, you have the IT related onboarding and offboarding data. You still collaborate and collect it in one place, and the correct right decision makers would be able to do their analytics on it. They can build their uh, reports out of it and figure out how to ease the onboarding process, how to make secure the users and their data when they're leaving the organization. So analytics has been a real good boom, and especially with the if we focus on the IT segment alone, about the performance, how effective the users are, how are they performing, and how to staff. Because with the inflow of tickets that you get today and with the inflow that you get tomorrow, it varies. But to have a delta of staffing to make sure, okay, if I could have 40% staffing throughout the operation for the day, I would be able to meet the SLA targets and help the users out. So this is again something the analytics have helped business. So this is one other aspect that you could understand, even though the systems are like separate, or if they are like with different installations, the analytics is one key element that could like spring data from different solutions and give a collaborative idea and a trajectory to the organization.
Yes. So analytics is working on based on collective data or consolidated data across departments. But the workflow itself, I mean interfaces between departments, the workflow is integrated.
Yes, that's a good question for the workflow as well, because HR can have a workflow process or the payroll team can have a workflow process, but the workflow can also extend beyond the department
Yes.
or beyond the particular department, so that it sends notifications or it sends a part of the action to be done to the respective department. So we have the out of the box drag and drop operations using which you could do it, and also we have a simple low code customizations that you could do. So when HR approves someone who has to leave the organization, you can automatically create a ticket in the IT, create a ticket in the security department to make sure to secure the assets, to secure their accesses, then also to the payroll team to make sure if there are any financial records and data that needs to be taken care of. So this way, there is no communication error. So long it's been paper forms, the paper forms goes between teams. With the simple workflow and with like low code customizations, it's just so easy to like frame the process at one shot or like with couple of discussions. And once it's set, and if it's set in motion, it makes the work between the teams a lot easier. So HR need not even get involved until or unless they get a notification from all the teams saying that we have secured all the details from the user. So we have signed off from all our working entities. So this way, the HR can do the final closure and leave the user from the organization. So this is all like a practical situation that we have implemented to a lot of these customers, and it's just like taken hands of many business users from following up on team after team on what's happening, and it's just made their work a lot more easier. So this workflow, the visual workflow builder, has been a good boon. And it's not just for the onboarding or offboarding processes, but also it comes to your other IT service management operations like your change management, your release management, where these workflows and processes have made a ton of experience, given a good experience for users with project planning or with like development background, users who do like software development, who have to have a controlled software release. Our release management workflows and change management workflows have taken them go extra mile through these visual workflow builders.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you in future conferences as well, as usual. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.